This first news story comes to us from Paul Tassi over at Forbes. This is a doozy. Sony shuts down Concord developer. No relaunch coming. Sony will close down Firewalk Studios, a developer of the now offline Concord hero shooter that was potentially preparing for a free-to-play relaunch. That will no longer happen. Firewalk will dissolve, though a breakdown between layoffs and who may move elsewhere inside Sony is as of yet unclear. Here's what Hermen Hulse said in a message to the staff. We have spent considerable time these past few months exploring all our options, Hulse said. After much thought, we have determined the best path forward is to permanently sunset the game and close the studio. I want to thank all of Firewalk for their craftsmanship, creative spirit, and dedication. The launch of Concord will remain one of the largest video game disasters of all time. A title that took years and potentially hundreds of millions of dollars to develop, shut down just 2 weeks after launch due to an abysmally low player count. While the shutdown of the game shortly after launch seemed to leave at least some room open for a potential relaunch down the line, likely free to play to remove the $40 barrier to entry, if you've been paying attention to the trajectory of the game, it was pretty clear that there was no point to that. The price may have been ill-advised, but the free beta shortly before launch barely attracted 2,000 players on Steam. At launch, it peaked under 700, when fellow mega disaster Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League had 13,000. Sales estimates were at just 25,000 copies, and Sony had to then refund all of those. Oh, man. In short, the price was not the problem, and it seemed unlikely that any sort of free relaunch or gameplay tweaks could salvage the game. Sure, there are plenty of redemption stories in gaming, but if you're looking for something like a Cyberpunk 2077 turnaround, problematic as it was, it still launched with 1 million concurrent players on Steam. You need something to build on, and Concord had nothing. 2024 has proved to be a series of wild swings for Sony, with the live service Helldivers 2 being a surprisingly huge hit, while Concord is this historic disaster. Yesterday, Bungie issued a video about its own live game it will make for Sony, Marathon, which seemed to indicate it may slip from its proposed 2025 launch year. Firewalk had a lot of talent, and I very much hope that Sony can find places for them elsewhere in the company, rather than simply issuing a mass layoff. And then there's an update. They are, in fact, doing a mass layoff of 170 people. There are plenty of live service projects to go around over there. Concord simply did not come together on any level, and as Hermen Hulse says, there are plenty of lessons to be learned. So sad. Yeah, I don't... They mentioned the Bungie video about talking about Marathon. I'm surprised they're still moving forward with that. Like, at this point, I feel like they just need to stop with the live service games. Like, stop, regroup, figure out exactly what their plan is moving forward. Because just to keep coming out with live service games that keep failing doesn't sound like a great idea. Granted, Marathon might be great. You know, so far this year, we've had Helldivers 2 and Concord. One of those did way better than anyone ever thought, and the other one did way worse than anyone ever thought. So it's not like it's 100% failure rate here, but it's also... Marathon also doesn't look very fun, to be honest. Any marketing I've seen, it does not look great. Like, it looks, to me, the marketing has been so terrible on both of those games. For a longest time, I thought they were the same game, to be honest. Marathon and Concord, until I realized they weren't.
Here's my question. Do you think Marathon is making it out? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to chuck it based on this performance. And not Sony. Wasn't Bungie the one to tell them to pick up Firewalk?
I mean, they might have been part of the negotiations, kind of help them maneuver that. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't remember exactly, but I feel like I remember them. Yeah, being part of some sort of like team that helped them navigate that. Yeah, I don't necessarily see. I guess I'll say this: I wouldn't be surprised if Marathon gets canceled.
Me either.
I have a bad feeling just because of the state of Sony currently. I have a bad feeling they're going to continue to push through with it and put it out, and it's going to not do good. But I would hope they would cancel it, and I wouldn't be like it. That seems like the better answer in my opinion. Like, because Marathon, again, I'm a little foggy on the details, but that's just another like hero shooter as well, right?
Which one, Marathon?
Marathon, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so why? I don't know. I my only worry is they're banking on, since Marathon is technically a sequel to an earlier Marathon game, they might think they can get away with putting it out because there'd be some sort of fan base for it. But it was a game that came out in like the early 90s, right? Like on like was it PC or was it even like I feel like it was a system that wasn't extremely popular. So that's my worry, is like they're like, oh well, people love Marathon. It's like, do they? Do they?
Please don't do that.
I don't know. I'm not feeling it. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about the future. I'm really just worried about how much hubris freaking PlayStation has right now. Like they are so
it's at a peak, just like PS3.
So up their own butt about, you know, this, like they just think they're the bee's knees, they can do anything and get away with it. And it's like, no, you can't.
Right.
And you're not. Like there's repercussions that are happening, but they just keep pushing through as if they're not. I don't understand. Sorry, I just found Marathon originally came out in 1994 on the Apple Macintosh.
On Mac, yep.
So.
But now they couldn't be bothered to put the new one on Mac. Thanks, appreciate it.
Yeah. I mean, the main, just the whole point of the news story here is obviously talking about the shutdown. Very, very sad what's happening over there. I'm super bummed that they're not able to like utilize these devs, like, because yeah, as a whole, the product wasn't great, but it doesn't mean the devs are bad. You know, like there's still some hard-working, high-quality developers that they're potentially losing.
And they were only being told what they were gonna make. Nobody had like a creative decision to make or anything like that. It's literally like how you or I would come to work and we got stuff, you know what I mean, already lined up for us to do. It's the same deal. We didn't pick that stuff to do. Somebody who's over us picked that for us to do. So, you know what I mean? You got to play the game.
Yeah, it'd be like me, like someone telling me, go make a turkey club sandwich. And I go make a turkey club sandwich. And it's a pretty good turkey club sandwich. You know, it's all right. But it's not up to part of what, you know, the person who told me to make it wants. And I'm like, well, you didn't specify you wanted this special mustard on there. You didn't tell me you wanted, you know, like bacon that's locally sourced from like a farm down the road. Like you gotta give me some. I did the best with what I had, you know.
Right.
Did the best I could do. But no, seriously, it's like, yeah, it's like some of those people, it was like they were given a direction, like they're not a director. Like if anyone should be laid off, if it's really that big of an issue to Sony, like lay off the directors and producers, but all like the people who just did the work that they were handed, like, I don't know. That doesn't seem fair. Not one bit. But that's just me. That's just me. So the future of live service games at Sony.
I'm gonna vote for Dunzo. I think it's over. I
you
feel
think
like
they'll actually give up on it?
I think it's tough because it sounds like a little hyperbolic, but I think the wheels are already in motion for Sony to get out of these live service MMO whatever quests that they have, because I think it's just too expensive for not only for us but for them too, because they have to buy those upgraded.
Marathon is the last one, right?
No, last one for
that
the
we
race?
know of. No, Marathon is the last live service game that we know of that's in development over there, right? Because they had Concord, they had Marathon, they had The Last of Us, and then there was another one, secret one that we never heard about, we don't know about. Like someone had said that there was one in development, and it was proven to be accurate. Like, oh, who was it? Yeah. I think there's one more we don't know about. They haven't said one way or another, whether it's been canceled or if it's still in development, I think. So I would assume they just quietly canceled that one and just hope people would forget about it.
I've made a huge mistake.
But yeah, I would like to think that they would just get off their high horse and just realize like, oh, okay, yeah, we made mistakes. We need to stop this. But I don't know. Herman Holst, and he's honestly...
Gotta be honest, I don't know if they're doing that much better than Jim.
I mean, all along, Herman Holst has been pretty buddy-buddy with Jim Ryan in every decision he's made. So really getting Herman Holst is almost like a Jim Ryan Jr. a little bit, you know. Although he's running it with the other guy, which we haven't even heard anything from the other guy. I don't even know his name. Like, I totally forget. Like, that's how little they're actually utilizing him, because Herman Holst is the one who made the statement, not the
Herman
other Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing over there. I don't like it, but time will tell.
Yep. Show must go on.
Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.